This CST Saints Training Camp Report is brought to you by Louisiana Cat.
Your CST Saints report has us here in Houston with some post-game reaction, and we'll go to the quarterback, Drew Brees, as we do after each game. And Drew, just talk about, this was a big test for this offense, and I know you saw a lot of good things in this game.
Yeah, we got 3 possessions as a first-team offense. The first one, unfortunately, we started kind of way back in our own territory, and we weren't able to convert that first down. But we moved the ball in the next 2 drives, and we were able to cash in on the third one with the touchdown. Some nice plays all the way around by a lot of guys. And really, we didn't play as much as a first unit in this game as we have in the past in that third preseason game. Coach wanted to work in a lot of guys, and so it was nice to see Luke come in and play so well, and some of those other young receivers. Kenny Stills came up with a couple big catches. Tanner came up with a couple big catches and touchdowns, and really all the way around. To see all the running backs contribute the way they did. I felt like we just kind of settled in, kind of got the momentum going in the second, third quarters. We were really able to cash in and score a lot of points, and I think there was just a lot of good efforts out there tonight.
You touched on the receivers. Let's talk about your running backs, Pierre Thomas and Mark Ingram. They both had big plays in this game, especially Pierre Thomas, and he was telling me this week, all of us know that we can do a lot of things well, and they really showcased that in this game.
Yeah, definitely. I think you've seen this preseason. Us put a lot of those guys in positions that maybe you haven't seen them in the past. Typically that's Sproles catching that ball that Pierre caught and took 50 yards for a touchdown, and maybe typically some of those screens have been to Pierre, and all of a sudden Mark's catching them and taking them, getting big gains out of them. So, we've got the best unit in the league. There's no question in my mind. Just their skill set and really their kind of diversity, everything that they can do. I mean, they can all do everything, a little bit of everything, but it's really a 1-2-3 punch that is extremely effective.
All right, let me make you smile for a second, because every time I ask you about this, I know I get a smile out of you. And you mentioned it earlier, but Andy Tanner, all the guy does is catch the football and make plays. His first 2 touchdowns in this game, I know he's a guy you guys are all pulling for. He's been with this team for so long. Yeah,
he's never ceases to amaze, never ceases to impress. Tanner's got a huge fan in me, and really every guy on this team, who's, especially the guys that have been with him now for 3-4 years. You see his work ethic, you see the effort that he comes to practice with, to every game, every day. Just really an unsung hero, and a guy that we all wish the best for, and he's always contributed so much on scout teams, when he's played there, and just kind of waiting for that opportunity, and certainly he's a guy who deserves it and has worked hard for it, and it's great to see guys like that succeed and get opportunities.
I know you and Sean Payton always want to get better, but the regular season kicks off 2 weeks from today. The Atlanta game will be over obviously by this time, but where is this offense in terms of where you want it to be at this point?
I think we've continued to make strides each week, which is good, throughout practice and then obviously in the games. There's so little time that's put into actually game planning for these preseason games, but still, you go out there and you take your base offense and you should be able to execute it effectively. And I feel like we've done that at times. For the most part, all the things that you want as far as tempo and rhythm and all those things we've had. Now the result, it hasn't always been a touchdown, or we've had to settle for some field goals when it felt like we should have had touchdowns. Man, we should have converted that third down when this happened, and we got to make that correction. Certainly, there's times that we've had those, and we know we got to make the corrections, but we always have, and so that's the part that makes you feel good, is that we've continued to make strides, and it's all about being healthy and prepared and ready by the time the regular season starts.
All right, final question. I have to get your take on this. The tight end you know and love, Jimmy Graham, said this week to us that he knows the way you take care of yourself and that he sees you playing well beyond 40. What did you think of those comments this week?
I love it. So if I play till I'm 40, then that means Jimmy will be playing 10, 11 years. I'll tell you what, tell him as long as he's playing with me, I'll play right alongside until I'm 40. How about that?
I think he'll like that a lot. All right. As usual, I appreciate it.
Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, Drew Brees here in Houston. I'm Mike Nabors with your CST Saints Report.